Hello, everyone, and welcome. We're still working through lesson 4.3, and we're working on solving equations of systems by the elimination method. So in the drop-down, you're going to find your name in the box, and you're going to type in the password, all lowercase GCVS. If for some reason you do not see your name in the box, please send me a message and let me know, and then you can hit OK. So this is solving by elimination guided practice, and there's this really fun little welcome design, and when you're ready you can hit OK. So we're going to solve this system of equations by elimination. So what we noticed, or what they noticed from the start, was that we have a plus y and a negative y. So it's a plus 1 and a negative 1, which is great. So we can add these two equations. Negative 4x plus 2x, add our coefficients, negative 4 plus 2 gets us negative 2x. The y's canceled out to 0, they're gone, and that's equal to 8 plus 2, which is 10. So then we have negative 2x equals 10. And to solve this for x, we divide both sides by negative 2. Negative 2 divided by negative 2 is 1x equals negative 5. 10 divided by a negative 2 is a negative 5. Now you're taking that negative 5, which equals x, and we're plugging it in for x in either equation. They chose the first equation, so we're going to plug in negative 5 in there. So we have negative 4 times negative 5 plus y equals 8. Negative 4 times negative 5 is a positive 20 plus y equals 8. So opposite operation, since it's a positive 20, we're going to subtract 20 from both sides, and we get y equals a negative 12. So our solution is at negative 5 comma negative 12. And of course, we just got this from here's our x, here's our y, and we plug them in to make our solution. That is the point where these two lines are going to intersect. Once you have everything that you need here, push ahead to the next slide by hitting OK. So I'm going to clear my board and hit OK. Beautiful. So for this next one, we see a positive 2y and a negative 2y. So they are the same number, just one is positive, one is negative. And when that happens, we can just add our equations vertically. 3x plus 2x gets us a 5x, and negative 1 plus 16 gets us a positive 15. So we have 5x equals 15. Now we just have a one-step equation. 5 times x, so the opposite is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 5, and we get x equals 3. And again, that is the solution for our x coordinate. Now to figure out what our y coordinate is, we want to take this value of 3 and plug it in for x. So we have 3 times 3 plus 2y equals negative 1. 3 times 3 is 9. So we have 9 plus 2y equals negative 1. This is a two-step equation. First thing we can do is subtract 9 on both sides. We are subtracting because it's a positive 9. So 9 minus 9 is 0. So we're just left with that 2y is equal to negative 1 minus 9 is a negative 10. Beautiful. And then we can divide both sides by 2 to get y equals negative 10 divided by 2 is a negative 5. So our y value is negative 5. And we plug that in to our solution there. So these two lines are going to intersect at the point 3 comma negative 5. Beautiful. And again, when you're all set, when you have everything you need, you can hit OK. So I'll clear my board and I'll hit OK. Beautiful. Now sometimes we'll notice that x and negative 3x, if we add them, they are not going to cancel. 2y plus negative 7y, if we add them, they're not going to cancel. So sometimes we have to do some multiplying first to get it so that we have equations so that we can use our elimination method. So they chose that they're going to get rid of these x's. So to do that, in the top equation, we need a positive 3x. So we're multiplying everything by 3. So we have 3x plus 6y equals 3. Now we can add them. 3x plus negative 3x cancels out. 6y plus a negative 7y is going to be a negative 1y. And 3 plus 2 is 5. So if negative y equals 5, we can just divide by negative 1. So we have y equals a negative 5. And now to get the x coordinate, we can choose either equation. It does not matter. So if I choose the first one, which was x plus 2y equals 1, I'm taking this negative 5 and I'm plugging it in for y. So I have x plus 2 times negative 5 equals 1. 2 times negative 5 is a negative 10. So we have x minus 10 equals 1. And then final step is to add 10 to both sides. And we get x equals 11. So our solution is 11 comma negative 5. Once you have everything you need on this slide, if you feel good, hit OK. So I'll erase my slide and I'm going to hit OK. Beautiful. Again, with this one, we have to do some multiplication first. So you can notice we have a 3x and a negative 2x. If we add those, we would get 1x. It doesn't cancel, so that doesn't work. And 2y plus 4y adds to a 6y. So those don't cancel. So we have a positive 4y down below, and then we have a positive 2y. So if we multiply the top equation by a negative 2, we'll end up getting a negative 4y, which will be great. But if we multiply one term by 2, we have to do it to all of our terms in our equation. So we have a negative 6x minus 4y equals negative 2. Negative 6x plus negative 2x is a negative 8x. Negative 4y plus 4y cancels to 0. And negative 2 plus 18 is a positive 16. So then we have negative 8x equals 16. Inverse operation here, we're going to divide both by negative 8. And then we get 1x equals negative 2. So our x coordinate is negative 2. Now take this x coordinate and plug it in to either equation. I'll pick the top one, but either one will work because this is where the lines are intersecting. So I'm taking that negative 2, bloop, and plugging it in for x. So we have 3 times negative 2 plus 2y equals 1. 3 times negative 2 is a negative 6 plus 2y equals 1. I'm going to move this negative 6 to the other side by using that opposite operation. And then we get 2y equals 7. Divide both sides by 2. And I get y equals 7/2. It's a fraction. We can put it in as 7 over 2. And there is our solution for this problem. Get everything that you need, and then hit OK when you're ready. All right, it cleared my board. I'm hitting OK. Here's our next one. We're about halfway done here. We are going to multiply by this negative 1, and we're just multiplying our bottom equation by that. So we get a negative 2x. Negative 1 times 2y is a negative 2y. And negative 1 times negative 6 is a positive 6. So we have 3x plus 2y equals 10. And then negative 2x minus 2y equals 6. When we add these equations, 3x plus negative 2x becomes 1x. These are going to cancel, and we just have 10 plus 6, which is 16. So x equals 16. And then we're going to take that 16 that we got here, and we're plugging it in for x. So we get 3 times 16 plus 2 times y. 3 times 16 is 48. So we have 48 plus 2y equals 10. I'm going to subtract 48 on both sides, and then I get 2y equals a negative 38. And then my last step is to divide both sides by 2, and we get y equals a negative 19. Beautiful. So, sorry, 2y equals negative 38, and then y equals that negative 19. Beautiful. When you feel good, go ahead and hit OK. I'm going to clear the board and hit OK. Beautiful. Originally, these variables will not cancel, so we're going to multiply our second equation by a negative 2 to get a negative 4x minus 4y equals negative 4. Beautiful. 3x plus negative 4x is a negative 1x, which is going to be y's will cancel. 1 plus negative 4 is a negative 3. So if a negative x equals negative 3, divide both sides by a negative 1, we would get x equals a positive 3. And if we plug that 3 in for x, right here, we'll get 3 times 3 plus 4y equals 1. 3 times 3 is 9 plus 4y equals 1. I'm going to subtract 9 on both sides, and we get 4y equals a negative 8. And then I'll divide both sides by 4, and that gets us a y value of negative 2. Beautiful. Get everything you need. Pause the video if you need to. And when you're all set, hit OK. Brilliant. 5x plus y equals negative 2, and 4x plus 5y equals 11. So right now, these will not cancel out, and neither will these. So we need to multiply our equation by a number. I'm going to choose to cancel out the y's. So because I have a positive 5 on the bottom, I'm just going to multiply this whole top equation by a negative 5. So we get negative 25x minus 5y equals a positive 10. And I'm going to combine that with 4x plus 5y equals 11. When we add these two equations, negative 25x plus 4x is a 21x. Negative 5y plus 5y cancels, and that equals 21. So we divide both sides by 21 to get x alone, and we get x equals 1. Perfect. And then I choose either equation. For this one, I'll choose the second equation, 4x plus 5y equals 11. And I'm plugging in 1 for x. So I'm rewriting the equation, but I substituted in that value of 1 for x so that we can solve for y. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 5y equals 11. Subtract 4 on both sides to get 5y equals 7. And then we would divide both sides by 5. And it's a fraction, but that's okay. Y equals 7